This is going to be your first performance in Portugal of this show, and performing in front of Portuguese audiences. How does it feel taking this show so many years later from the Bronx and to Lisbon? What's that like?
Well, I mean, that's pretty exciting. I mean, this is my. I'm going to be going to London, but this will be my first performance outside of the United States. So I'm very excited by that. I was in Portugal. I was with Robert De Niro 2 years ago for the Lisbon Film Festival, which was great. I had such a wonderful time there. I loved it. Portugal, especially Lisbon, is such a magical city. Um, and I'm really looking forward to doing it there. I just think it's going to be it's such a great show. It's been a success all over America, and I'm really looking forward to going to Portugal.
Growing up in the Bronx, it came with like very specific challenges. You learned many lessons as well. How did it like influence your career, and does it still inspire you as an actor and creator?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because of A Bronx Tale, I wrote about my first 20, my first, 19, 20 years of my life. It was pretty exciting. And I wrote this play. It was a one-man show originally, where I had this idea that I'm going to play all the parts. I'm going to do the whole script by myself on stage. It was never done before. It was the first time it was ever done 35 years ago, and it still hasn't been done since. And it became a huge success. And then it became Robert De Niro saw it, and it became a movie, and then it became a musical that I wrote the musical. So your question is very good because it's part of my life. It's even though I did 65 movies, it's part of me, of who I am. I'm colloquial. I'm the little boy. It's about my life. So it's very personal to me.
And you just mentioned that it's so many characters. As an actor on stage, what is that like? How do you manage to portray so many different characters in such a small window in between all of them?
It's called practice. a lot of a lot of practice. It took me writing it, and I was doing pieces of it at my theater company. It took me almost a year to perfect it, of constant hours and hours of rehearsal, hours. But then the hard work paid off. And when I performed it, my career just, people just went crazy. They never seen anything like it. And it exploded. And obviously, I've been doing it now, for 35 years in between my television show, in between my movies. And people can't get enough of it. They see it 10, 20, 30 times. It changes people's lives. About people bring their children 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. They bring their kids to see it because of the life lessons that it has.
Is that why you also keep doing it after so many years? Because it's like it's always new people and new generations?
Yes, and also then I'll meet people that saw it 10 years ago and they come back and they go, "This is my son. He saw the show. He was influenced by your show, and now he's becoming a lawyer. He wanted to meet you." I, I can't explain it. I wish I could, I wish I could, really, but it's it's a phenomenon. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else. People have seen it 30, 40, 50 times.
And does it ever change? Do you ever tweak it to keep it current, or it's always the same?
It's always the same.
And by the way, you mentioned how Robert De Niro picked it up and it became a movie. So how was it working with him? Bringing that story to to a whole different medium in film?
It was, well, look, when I did it, I performed it, and everybody wanted to make it. It only happened twice in Hollywood. Rocky with Sylvester Stallone and me with Bronx Tale. It only happened twice. And everybody wanted to make it, but they didn't want me. They wanted to put a star in the role. And they wanted somebody else to write it, to write their story, to use my things and make it their own. And I refused. And they offered me $250,000 the first couple of weeks, and then it went up. And I said no because they didn't want to use me. Then they offered me 500,000, and I said no. Then it went up to $1 million. Robert De Niro saw it about 2 weeks later, and he said, "Look, this is an incredible story. It's got to get made. We got to make this a movie." And he said, "I'll play your father, and I'll direct it, and you play Sonny, and you write it." And that's how it happened.
Yeah. And it wasn't about the money, right? It was about making it the right interpretation of the story. It was about
Absolutely
keeping the truth of what the play was.
It had a, and if you see the one-man show and you look at the movie, it's exactly the same.
Now people in Portugal get to do the comparison as well.
Well, what the great thing about it is they're going to meet the person who really is Calogero. You have to realize I play Sonny, I play Lorenzo, I play the boy, I play the girl, I play everybody. I mean, when it came out, it was like I won all the awards of best show, and I nominated for the Outer Circle Award. I mean, it was like, forget it. It was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
We already established that this is a very personal story. It's about you. It's about your childhood. What was the episode or episodes or moments that were more impactful for you to revisit and create for the play?
Well, I mean, it all started from the killing. The first thing I wrote was the killing on a stoop and looking at this man who I thought was some sort of mythical figure growing up. And then all of a sudden he ends up killing a man right in front of me. And it made an impact on my life. And then I didn't rat on him. And then he saw me the next day and he looked at me and I looked at him like, yeah, I know that you know. And we didn't say anything, and that was it. Boom. It was like a bond between us. That's how it started.
Was it cathartic for you to portray that the first time that you did it?
Well, the whole story it's a catharsis. The whole story. That's why it lasts for 35 years, because the characters are archetypes. People can relate to it. People can relate to it because a mother, a father, a dream, don't waste your talent. For some reason, it connects to everyone in the most personal
And do you think
manner.
that it's like all the more impactful for people, for the audience, that it's an autobiographical story, that it happened, that it's not just purely fictional?
I think that's part of it, but it doesn't matter, people feel the way they feel. If something's true, but for some reason it doesn't connect, people won't laugh. You can't make people laugh. You can't make people cry. You can't.
And, you've said you've had a very long career in film, in TV, but are all of these roles the hardest roles of your career? Or the ones you're most proud of?
When I first learned it, yes. Because don't forget, I have to play 18 characters.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing that took me a good week, there are some scenes like the crap game where 5 people are talking all at the same time.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I don't do it, I don't change hats or outfits or nothing. I do it all with physical accents and gestures and lights and sound.
Right.
Has it become like muscle memory for you now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah. But still, I have to when I do it, I for a couple of days before I have to rehearse it. I have to go over it.
to get back into the rhythm.
And do you
Well,
ever
you have to because everything is so precise
Right.
on stage. You have to hit a mark when the light changes, the sound cue. It's yeah.
Is there any character specifically that's more challenging or harder to play than others, or are all they the same for you?
Not now. In the beginning, yes. In the beginning, learning it, I think the hardest character was the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old was, it took me a few days to get that because he wasn't a child, but he wasn't an adult either. So I had to get his manners and his world. That was the one that was challenging to me.
shifting the subject a little bit, when we interviewed you in New York, not us, but the third member of our podcast, because we're
Yeah.
a trio.
Daniela.
Yes, Daniela. It was at Tribeca Festival, New York. You told us that you'd like to play a priest. Is that any close to happening? Or closer?
But it came close a couple of times,
Oh wow.
but the movie never happened. But I think I'm going to have to write it myself to make it really happen. The script wasn't that good,
Right.
but I really do want to play. I'm very much I'm very much spiritual. I'm a Catholic, and I believe all my success in my life comes from God. Um, I believe God saved my life a bunch of times, and I hope one day I can. I hope one day I could play a priest.
Do you have like a story in mind at all, or someone specifically, or a specific type of character, or a specific type of priest that you would love to play? Is
An
there anything? Yeah, an
inspiration.
inspiration.
I thought about playing a priest who is conflicted between his God and his way he is, you know.
Hmm.
And he's more of a street priest. He's a man of the people, but he's a man of God, but he's also a man, and how he's affected by that, you know. I better do it soon because I'm getting a little too old. Maybe I'll write it one day and direct it, which would be fine. That's okay. Um, I don't know. We'll see.
Can you imagine yourself not as an actor? Is this all you have always meant to be, or can you see yourself doing another role, another job in life than not being an actor?
I don't think I could do anything else. I mean, is either I always wanted to be an actor and a writer. And this is a street guy growing up in the Bronx, but I would never tell anybody that I was writing poetry. They would think I was crazy, you know. Um, I just always thought of myself as a writer, and I always saw the world bigger than what it was, you know. When I was 11, 12 years old, and I remember my friend told me, my friend Sal, who was still friends, and he said we were sitting in the we were, back then when the winters we would hang out in the hallway because it was warm and the snow would be coming down and we all stay in the hall. And he said it was just me and him one day, and we were looking out at the snow in the neighborhood, and I was looking out there, and I said to me, I don't remember saying this to him, but he said I did, and I just said there's got to be more to life than just living and dying here. I want more out of life. And he was very funny because he's always happy go lucky. He says, I don't know, this is pretty good. We're still great friends, you know. He
Was
said,
that
you were always the dreamer. You were always a dreamer. You were always saying, I'm going to do something. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to travel the world. And I guess it all came about, you know, worked out okay.
and were your dreams and those those things you thought that there had to be more to life than that, that also influence your play, or Bronx Tale?
Well, it gave me the drive to do it. You know, it gave me the drive. I mean, I was running out of money at the time. As any actor, you do guest star roles and you get a part and you live off that money for 3 months, 4 months. And I started running out of money and it was like desperation. I said, look, I got to do something. So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it gives you, look, the best gift, the best gift that my family gave me was the gift of poverty because I had to like do something. And my father was a bus driver, like in the movie, but he made just enough to live. I didn't have a car. We didn't have a car. Or we couldn't go out to dinner a lot. We didn't have money. We were okay. Don't get me wrong. And there was so much love in the family that was all right. But I thought, you see, it was okay with me because all my friends were exactly like I was. So I thought that's the way people are.
Is there any specific episode or any specific part of the play that you're particularly excited for people to see, especially Portuguese audiences?
Yes. Yes, it's the scene between the father and the little boy when Sonny leaves the money with the gangster. And the boy can't understand, why would you do that? That's money that I've been saving. And the father tries to explain to him, it's bad money it doesn't take much strength to pull a trigger.
Yeah.
I'm the tough guy, not him. I work. That's my favorite part.
When it's over and people stand up and they'll give you a round of applause, what do you hope that people leave with? What do you think is the main takeaway from your play?
Yeah, sure. I inspire their life to do something with their life. Or if they have children or a brother or sister, inspire them that it's never too late. At the end of the film, he says, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent, and the choices you make will shape your life forever. That's it right there.
That how you would like to be remembered as someone who made the best out of his life?
I hope so. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. I've reached people, don't forget, with the one man show, with the movie of the one man show, with the play, with the movie, and then I wrote the musical, which was a hit on Broadway.
Is there any other projects that you have coming up that you're excited for?
Well, I'm on a TV series with Forrest Whitaker called Godfather of Harlem that I've been
Right.
doing. And I always tell people, damn it, I forgot to. I always tell people to go to my podcast because I speak about success a lot on my podcast, which is chazzpalminteri.net. If you go to that, or you go to Chazz Palminteri show on YouTube, I would like people to click in, follow me, like, and I speak about success and everything over my podcast.
Chaz, thank you so much for talking to us, but we won't let you go just yet because we
Yeah.
have a challenge for you.
We have a challenge. It's a quick one though. We just like to ask our guests every time to recommend a movie or a show to our listeners. It can be anything new that you watched, anything classic that you love. The only thing is you have 30 seconds to do it. Do you have any suggestions?
That's easy. The greatest movie that I ever saw, directed, script, acting, is by Elie Kazan with Marlon Brando and Eva Marie Saint. It's called On the Waterfront. That's the greatest to me. It's also Marty Scorsese's favorite movie, and a lot of other people. It's the most perfect movie all the way through that I ever saw.
Chaz, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chaz Palminteri.
And as they say in your language, I hope I say it right. Adios.